Hello everyone, welcome back for another science video. Today we are going to be learning about chromosomes and DNA. Woohoo! I love chromosomes and DNA. I think it's so fun. I wish we could have learned it in person, but that is okay because I have a fun and amazing lesson for you through the video. So let's look at what is DNA. We talk about DNA all the time. Let's do a little bit of a refresher and talk about what exactly DNA is. So DNA is the blueprint for building life. So it's the outline. It's basically it's like, okay, here, we're going to build an organism. This is the code that we need to build that particular organism. It's the blueprint. All living things have DNA. When I say all living things have DNA, every single living thing has DNA. If it doesn't have DNA, it's not considered living under any circumstances. So what does DNA stand for? DNA actually stands for a super long word. Are you ready for it? Do you know it? Do you want to know it? It is deoxyribonucleic acid. I have no idea how long it took me to learn how to spell that when I was in school, but yeah, that's what DNA stands for, deoxyribonucleic acid. And there's so many fun and interesting facts about DNA if you do research. I mean, it's really amazing. So let's take a closer look at DNA. So here I'm going to draw DNA for you guys. So DNA has what we like to call a double helix structure. So that kind of swirly structure that you always see DNA, we call that a double helix. So here I'm just drawing all the different parts of the DNA, and then I will go over with you what those different parts are and what they are made of. I didn't do too bad of a job. This is a lot better than that fox that I drew, or the shark, if y'all remember. Whew, some rough times. This is looking better. So let's talk about the backbone of the DNA, or that black portion. So that is made out of sugar and phosphate. So the black portion is the backbone, and it's made out of sugars and phosphate. Then those little lines that I drew right there are called the rungs. So the lines that are in the middle are called the rungs, and they are made out of nitrogen bases. And we're going to talk about which nitrogen bases they're made of. It's very strategic, and it's always the same. So the bases that they are made out of, our first one that we're going to name is adenine. That is our first nitrogen base. Our second nitrogen base is thymine. And there's a reason that I'm pairing them up like this. They're always in pairs. These pairs specifically. Our next one is guanine. And then it pairs up with guanine is cytosine. Now I put them like this on purpose because adenine and thymine always connect to each other, and guanine and cytosine always connect to each other. So the way that we like to write it is ATGC for adenine, thymine, guanine, and cytosine. So A and T pair up together, and G and C always pair up together. Okay, so now we're going to look at what does a lot of DNA create. So when you have like a lot of DNA together, what is that going to make? I mean, we don't just have like one strand of DNA in each cell. We have way more than that. We need more than that to get the cell running and to be able to create the organism that we need to create. So a lot of DNA is going to create these things called chromosomes. So chromosomes are made of strands of DNA. Chromosomes also are found in the nucleus of the cell. So we've already talked about how DNA is always found in the nucleus of the cell. Well, that's where chromosomes are also found. An important thing that we want to remember about chromosomes is that's where the hereditary information is held, or genes. not like the blue jeans that you wear to school on Fridays, but like genes in your cells that determine basically who you are as a person. And we're going to talk more about that in the coming days. So you get your remember we just talked about inherited traits? Those come from your genes in your DNA and your chromosomes. So everything's connecting. You're seeing how the pieces fit together like a puzzle. So we're going to continue to look more at DNA and chromosomes. So DNA and chromosomes code for specific traits. So your DNA is the outline and your blueprint specifically made for you. It codes for your specific traits, and it's like that for every organism. Human cells have 46 chromosomes in each cell. How do we get this number? It's like 46. It's kind of odd. Well, you get 23 chromosomes from mom, and then you add that to the 23 chromosomes that you get from dad, and that makes you a human of 46 complete chromosomes. And that's how we get that number. So your mom only gives you 23 chromosomes, and then you are now a complete human with your 46 chromosomes. One thing that I want you to know is that inherited traits are passed to offspring. You have your genes in your chromosomes, and then they create these traits that you inherit, and they're passed from parent to offspring. So from your parents down to you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next science video. Bye.